When my brother came back from war, I thought life would finally go back to normal. But the first thing he did was call me a traitor, right in front of everyone. The silence that followed felt heavier than the battlefield itself. No one knew what he had been through out there, or what I had done while he was gone. But there was a letter in his pocket, one that would change everything. I still remember the sound of his boots on the porch. Heavy, slow, uncertain. The war had taken 3 years from us, but when I opened that door, I realized it had taken much more from him. He didn't look like my brother anymore. His eyes were different, distant, as if he was still somewhere out there, ducking from bullets that no longer existed. "Daniel," I said, stepping closer. But he didn't hug me. He didn't even smile. He just looked at me, jaw tight, and said in a low voice that still makes my stomach twist when I remember, "I know what you did." At first I thought he was joking, some dark soldier humor I couldn't understand. But then he turned to our mother and muttered, "You should have told me sooner who he really is." Mom froze. Her hands trembled, and for a second I saw tears threatening to fall. She tried to say something, but Daniel had already gone upstairs, leaving a trail of silence heavier than any bomb he could have brought home. I stood there, heart pounding. What could he mean? What did he think I'd done? That night I couldn't sleep. I sat by the kitchen window, watching the rain beat against the glass. Every sound made me flinch, a habit I guess he brought back with him, but somehow I caught it too. I wanted to talk to him, to explain whatever he thought he knew. But every time I tried, he shut me out. "You had your chance," he said once, not even looking at me. I saw the letter. Letter? What letter? The word haunted me. Our house, once filled with warmth and noise, turned into a graveyard of unspoken words. Mom barely spoke. Dad tried to pretend everything was fine, but I could see it. The way he avoided eye contact, the way he left the room whenever Daniel entered. I started to wonder if I had missed something huge. One night I found him sitting on the porch, smoking. His hands were shaking. The moonlight hit his face, and for the first time I saw it clearly, the pain. The kind that doesn't heal with time or medicine. "You think I betrayed you," I said quietly. He turned his head, his voice sharp. "Think? No. I know." My chest tightened. "Then tell me, what do you think I did?" He hesitated. For a moment I thought he'd finally open up. But instead he stood up and said, "You wouldn't understand. You weren't there." Then he walked back inside, leaving me alone with the cold wind and 1,000 questions. Days passed. The tension grew. Every meal felt like walking through a minefield. Until one morning Mom's voice echoed through the house. "Enough. Both of you." Daniel stopped eating. I froze. She looked at us, two grown men who used to play soldiers in the backyard, now strangers at the same table. "There are things you both don't know," she said. "Things that happened while he was gone." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "You mean while you protected him?" Mom's lips trembled. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like, Mom?" I asked. "Because I don't even know what I'm being accused of anymore." She reached for the folded paper in Daniel's hand. "You shouldn't have opened it," she whispered. "I had to," he said, his voice breaking for the first time. "It was from him." I froze. "From who?" He handed me the letter, his fingers trembling. "Read it," he said. The envelope was old, stained, written in a shaky hand. My name was on it. I unfolded it carefully, and the moment I saw the first line, I forgot how to breathe. It was from my father's friend, a man I'd only met once, the night before Daniel left for war. "Your brother must never know," it said. "If he does, he'll never forgive you." My heart raced. I read the rest in silence. Each word hit harder than the last. By the time I reached the end, Daniel was standing in front of me, waiting. "So," he asked, "are you going to deny it?" I looked at him, my brother, my blood, and I wanted to scream that it wasn't true, that I hadn't done what the letter claimed. But part of me knew that even if I spoke, he wouldn't believe me. He'd already chosen his side. When I handed the letter back to him, my hands were shaking so much I almost dropped it. Daniel stared at me like he was waiting for me to break, like the truth would spill out of me if he stared long enough. "Say something," he demanded. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried the weight of every bullet he'd survived. "I don't know what this man told you," I said, "but whatever he wrote, it's twisted." Daniel laughed, a harsh, dry sound. "Twisted?" He described everything. Dates, places, names. He knew things only someone close to you could have told him. I swallowed hard. "Mom, tell him. You know the truth." But she lowered her eyes. Her silence was a knife. Daniel saw it too. "There," he said. "She can't even defend you." I felt the ground slipping beneath me. What do you do when the person who knows the truth refuses to speak? What do you do when the person you die for thinks you sold him out? That afternoon, Daniel left the house. No explanation, no destination. Just slammed the door and disappeared down the street. Mom cried. Dad went to the garage and stayed there for hours, pretending to fix things that weren't broken. I stayed in my room, replaying every memory of the months before Daniel left for war. What had I done? Who had I talked to? Where had I been? Nothing made sense. Except one moment. One night. One conversation I had tried to forget. Before Daniel enlisted, our father had whispered something in my ear. Something about debts, threats, and choices that didn't belong to me. He said I had to keep it secret, to protect the family. But he never told me that secret could destroy us years later. I knew I had to talk to Daniel. But the man who came back wasn't the brother I grew up with. He was colder, sharper, carrying an invisible weight. War changes people in ways you can't see. Sometimes the wounds aren't on the skin, they're carved deep inside. That night he finally returned. Covered in rain, looking exhausted. He didn't say a word as he went upstairs. But when I tried to follow him, he closed the door right in my face. I'm not ready to talk, he said. His voice cracked. That was the first sign that something inside him was breaking. Days passed. He barely spoke to anyone. Some mornings I'd wake up to the sound of him panicking in his sleep. Whispers, gasps, curses, names of people I didn't know, people I assumed never made it back home. One of those nights I knocked on his door. Daniel, please let me in. He hesitated. Then the door opened a few inches. He looked tired. No, devastated. Why did you do it? He whispered. Why did you send that letter saying I abandoned the family? Why would you tell a stranger something like that? I never wrote that letter, I said. I didn't even know about it until you showed it to me. You expect me to believe that? Yes, I said. Because I've never lied to you. He clenched his jaw. A vein pulsed on his temple. His hands shook. Not from anger. From fear. Do you know what kept me alive out there? He asked. A letter. That letter. Because it told me you never wanted me here. That I was worthless to you. That I was better off dead. My stomach twisted. Someone had written that in my name? Someone had wanted to break him, and succeeded. I didn't write it, I repeated. I swear on my life. He stared at me long and hard. I could see in his eyes he wanted to believe me, but the war had carved doubt into him like shrapnel. Finally, he opened the door wider and motioned me in. His room was a mess, papers, pills, uniforms thrown across the floor. The window was open, letting the cold wind in. He sat on the edge of the bed. I need you to tell me everything, he said. Every detail. Every moment. What happened while I was gone. So I told him. About Dad's secrets. About the debts. About the threats from the man who later wrote that letter. About how I was forced into silence. About how keeping quiet destroyed my life piece by piece. When I finished, Daniel looked pale. He lied to me, he murmured. All this time, he lied to me. I nodded. We were both manipulated. He looked at the floor. I feel like I fought the wrong war. Then he handed me the envelope. Read it again. So I did. Only this time, something felt off. A line, a date, a detail about our father that didn't match. I think this man knew Dad was in trouble, I said, and used us both. Daniel dragged his hands over his face. So all of this, for nothing? No, I said. For survival. His and ours. He stood up and walked to the window. I killed enemies in the desert, but the man who destroyed our family did it with a pen. I stepped beside him. He didn't pull away. For the first time since he returned, he was my brother again, wounded, yes, but present. We need to face Mom, he said. She knows something. Before I could answer, we heard footsteps in the hallway. Mom's voice, Dad's voice, arguing, whispering. Words like letter, mistake, and he can never know drifting through the air. Daniel looked at me, eyes blazing with something new, not anger. Determination. They know the truth, he said. And now we're going to get it. He opened the door. And the real confrontation began. The moment Daniel opened the door, our parents froze. Dad was standing near the hallway wall, gripping a crumpled piece of paper. Mom looked pale, as if she had been caught stealing air from the room. Their eyes flicked between us. Two sons, finally united by suspicion instead of silence. Daniel stepped forward. We know about the letter. Mom's breath caught. Dad's shoulders sank. No more lies, Daniel said. Not tonight. Dad rubbed his forehead with trembling fingers. You weren't supposed to read it. Funny, my brother replied. Because it shaped my whole life for 3 years. Mom tried to reach for him, but he stepped back. Tell me the truth, he said. All of it. She closed her eyes, then nodded as if she'd been waiting for this collapse for years. It started before you left, she whispered. Your father, he got involved with the wrong man. That man wrote the letter. He threatened us. Said if we didn't cooperate, he'd ruin our family. And he wanted leverage over you. Over your choices. Over your future. I felt my chest tighten. Dad looked away in shame. Daniel's jaw clenched. So you let him tell me my own brother betrayed me? Dad's voice broke. He said it was the only way to protect both of you. To keep him from harming your mother, or you. And me? I asked quietly. What about what it did to me? Dad's eyes filled with tears, the kind he never allowed himself. I thought the truth would fade. I thought the letter would disappear in the chaos of war. I didn't think you'd carry it with you. Daniel stared at him coldly. I carried it like a bullet lodged in my chest. Mom stepped closer, reaching for Daniel's face. We were scared. We made the wrong choice. But we didn't want to lose you. Daniel pulled away. You already lost me. The silence that followed was suffocating. That's when Daniel turned to me. For the first time, his eyes didn't see an enemy, they saw the brother he once had. I blamed you because I needed someone to hate, he said quietly. Someone alive. Someone safe. Out there, hatred was easier than hope. Hearing that hurt more than the accusation ever did. I never abandoned you, I whispered. Not then. Not now. His voice trembled. I know that now. He looked at Mom and Dad. But I don't know if I can forgive you. Mom collapsed onto the couch, covering her mouth. Dad sat beside her, shoulders shaking, not with anger but with 30 years of regret crashing down at once. I turned to Daniel. What do you want to do? He looked around the house as if seeing it for the first time since returning from the desert. I want space, he said. Time. And the truth. All of it. Dad nodded, defeated. Ask anything. I'll tell you. But Daniel didn't ask. Not yet. He walked toward the front door and opened it. The night was cold but calm, the kind of calm he hadn't known for years. Walk with me, he asked. I nodded and followed him outside. The street was quiet, lit with the faint orange glow of old lamps. We walked side by side, not speaking for a long time. Finally, Daniel exhaled, his breath visible in the cool air. That letter kept me alive, he said. Not because of the words, but because I promised myself I'd confront you when I came home. I imagined the moment so many times. It became my anchor. And now that you know the truth? I asked. He hesitated. I don't know how to live without the pain anymore. I placed a hand on his shoulder. Then let me help you carry it. His eyes glistened. He didn't pull away. That man who wrote the letter, he said, he took something from us. Yes, I replied. But he didn't take everything. Daniel swallowed. I want to rebuild something. Slowly. But not with lies. I'm here, I said. As long as you need. We kept walking until we reached the old bridge near the edge of town. He leaned on the railing, staring at the dark water below. It won't be the same, he murmured. No, I said. But we can build something new. He nodded, and for the first time since the day he returned, I saw a glimpse of the brother I once knew. Not whole, not healed, but present. Trying. That was enough. When we finally walked back home, the lights inside were still on. Mom and Dad were sitting together, waiting, not with anger or excuses but with fear and hope mixed in their eyes. Daniel didn't say a word to them. But he didn't walk past them either. He paused, looked at them. And for now, that was the closest thing to forgiveness he could offer. And maybe that was enough too. Life wouldn't be perfect after that night. Wounds would reopen. Arguments would come. Memories would haunt him. But at least he wasn't fighting alone anymore. And that, in its own imperfect way, was a kind of peace. Sometimes the enemy isn't across the battlefield, he's sitting at your dinner table. What would you do if someone you love called you a traitor without knowing the truth? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel and watch the next story because the next one will leave you speechless.